What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another UFC breakdown. If you're new to these, my name is Lucas, the invisible man over there. His name is Rohan. I think he's currently making a hot pocket. That's why he's not here. But you have me for the next 30 seconds, and then I think he'll be back. But yeah, hope everyone's doing well. UFC London, big betting card for me personally. I've got a lot of money already on the line. It's only Tuesday. Usually I don't have this many bets. I've got already, like 7 or 8. That's rare. But we're here. I'm on the couch. I'm chilling. Just came back from our nice and tough boxing session. But we're here, ready to break down UFC London. I'd ask Rohan where he's doing, but his fat ass is currently in the kitchen. This guy gave up training mixed martial arts for like the past 2-3 years. He doesn't do it anymore. He just sits in his fucking room eating Hot Pockets. Where is he? Hello? He's gone. I hear music in the back, but it seems like he's gone. But yeah, UFC London. Last week we had what? UFC Vegas 104. On paper, it looked like it was going to be a completely shit card, but we made about 8 units, which is pretty big for us, considering we don't risk a lot of units in the first place. The biggest cash was plus 1,200 Carlos Vera by submission. Honestly, I didn't think that was going to hit. I just felt like it was his only path to victory, and you have a guy that's what, plus 500, and you can get his only path at plus 1,200. So I took it. It actually happened. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. We also cashed a max bet between 2 weeks. Carlos Leal parlayed with Kevin Vallejos, beat the lines on both of those. They both closed near like minus 500, minus 600. I think Leal actually closed at minus 900, something crazy. Those are super easy, both first-round knockouts. But yeah, Rohan, I think, is still AFK. Shout out to the 5 on Twitter. Shout out to Twitter, man. There he is with his fucking Hot Pocket. My God, you fat prick. I was just telling them how you gave up MMA and now you're just eating Hot Pockets in your room. Thoughts?
Gave up MMA? I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I did pick MMA. I did pick Hot Pockets over MMA.
How's everything doing? Good?
Yeah.
Good? Yeah, I'm saying.
I'm good.
Like, how's everything? Are you good? Like,
I'm good.
Hello?
Wait, huh?
Well, I'm you know how usually at the beginning of podcast episodes, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know we were live, bro. Bro, I'm tripping. Hey, listen, I'm doing good.
You didn't know we were live? Bro, we already have fucking 13 people in here.
Hey, bro, listen, I'm late to the party. I'm sorry. Listen, it's been a rough morning. Actually, you know what? I'm not good. You want me to get into it? I'm not good. I'm really busy. I'm doing a lot of stuff. Internship. I had to submit something. I had to do like some work for a presentation I got tomorrow in a class. I got like an on-air shoot today for another class. I'm all over the place, and I mean, I'm handling stuff. But yeah, I'm good. I'm excited for this London card. They never disappoint. And I'm looking forward to breaking it down, bro. How about you? How are you doing today? How are you?
I'm the complete opposite. I'm fucking great. I'm fantastic.
Good.
Fuck you.
I've been hearing some nice things about the weather back there. Is it sunny?
Great.
And
great.
Yeah.
It's like 60 degrees. I was playing tennis with the wall for like a good hour and a half. Great.
You didn't find anybody to play with in that long?
Dude, I don't want to play with like a fucking 50-year-old teacher here. The fuck? I'd rather play with the wall.
Fair.
The wall is my best friend. Okay. It sounds sad, but it's true. I've been working on my slice. Next time we play.
No, your slice is I will attest that your slice game is very good. It's better than mine. I don't really have it.
This isn't a fucking tennis podcast.
This
is a UFC podcast. I'm really looking forward to this card. I was saying before you came here, I've got a lot of big bets, man. I'm looking forward to this card. It's gonna be great. We got a lot of people on fucking Twitter right now. What the fuck? So random. 13 people from Twitter. 14 from Twitter only. I think it's because like I made like a semi-big tweet, responded like to a GFL post.
So they're interested now.
They got like 50 likes. So yeah.
Well, they need to hear what we have to say about this beautiful card. We're back.
No, this is actually a really good fight.
Oh, it is. I'm excited.
I know. This is great. Okay. I'm just sending this link out to a few people. Oh, I'm getting a fucking call. By the way, Rohan, this is Dev. Dev, you're live on stream. What do you have to say? Oh, wait, what just happened? You're live on stream. What do you got to say to the chat? Aren't we the best UFC? What'd you say? The building. Counterpunch Pod is in the building. Rohan's there. We're live in front of 26 people. What do you have to say to yourself?
Tap in Counterpunch, best UFC commentators in the game.
Okay.
Exactly.
So,
He knows.
right? Yes, he knows. All right, give me a text. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna pull up fucking Tapology. I should have been prepared with this. Okay. And there's an early card. It's at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock your time. Damn, that means well, that's not that bad actually.
What is that?
I
Fucking
can-
fun for you. Jesus Christ. Can you see?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this card I actually really like from a gambling perspective. A lot of bets, and it's only fucking Tuesday. So yeah, I'm like pretty confident on every. Not pretty confident, but I have a pick that I'm maybe like 1 or 2 fights. I'm like, but yeah. Let's start first fight on the card: Guram Kudalate versus Cowboy Fernandez. Kudalate should win. I feel like at this stage in his career, his chin is just completely gone. But at the same time, there's levels. I don't think Cowboy is like putting anybody unconscious. He's mainly just like a calf kicker. Yeah, he had that win against what's his fucking name?
Wasn't it
Yaya.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Yaya. That was a funny ass fight. Yaya is probably one of the worst UFC fighters we've ever seen. Am I wrong about that?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's horrible. They literally only brought him in for like Abu Dhabi cards because he's from the area.
They do that with way too many fighters. But
Yeah, they do. I think yes, Guram's chin I don't think is what it used to be, but there's just fucking levels here. Like Coway doesn't really have a lot of power. I just think Guram can hurt this dude. He's too technical. If Coway's gonna get hurt in this fight, and he's gonna go away from the game plan. He's gonna try to shoot takedowns. He's gonna get stuffed. He's gonna get tired. Guram body shot. I say second round body shot finish. Not a lot to say about this one. There's a reason he's a fucking big favorite here. Yeah, I like Guram. I think he probably stops him. Yeah, that's what I gotta say.
yeah, I don't know. I think Guram's resume is not the most impressive. A few losses in a row before that win over Jordan.
Bro, what is going on? Every time you start talking, it's like, bro, it's like fucking Al Qaeda just spawned in fucking Burbank, California. Like, what is going on? What the fuck was that? Are they dropping bombs? Are you getting a nuke?
I might have to move inside without. Can you hear that like blower in the background? Because I might have to move inside. I don't want to.
Right now, I don't hear anything.
I don't want to be too much of a disturbance. But anyways, yeah, that was a plane flying overhead. I'm trying to enjoy the nice weather. But anyways, there's not too much to say about this fight. But Guram's resume can be a little misleading. That win over Matus Gamrot, like I think he lost that fight. Hasn't looked really too impressive other than that win over Vucenic, who I mean, it's not that big of a win in my opinion. I just think. Yeah, the problem on the other side here is Fernandez cardio. Like he's a decent striker. I think he's fast. You know, he has like you mentioned about the calf kicks. He has good kicking game, good straight punching. I like his combinations at times. But again, the problem with him is just how long is he going to be able to sustain the pace that is required to keep up with somebody like Guram, who has every strike in the book as well, and is also a threat. I mean, I feel like if he wants at times, just because of the way Coway fights, and especially later in the fight. Like he might be the one to start initiating some of the wrestling exchanges, and I think Coway Fernandez is a seasoned black belt jiu-jitsu fighter. He knows what he's doing on the ground, likes to throw up submissions sometimes, but I don't think that's going to be a route to victory against somebody like Guram, who's pretty much a veteran at this stage in his career. Like he knows how to evade those situations, stick to his game plan. Other than that Chase Super fight where he got caught on the feet, that was weird, but. I just think overall this is a good spot for Guram, and Coway Fernandez just doesn't do enough. Doesn't have the power, doesn't have the overall grit. I think to take out Guram, and that's what he's gonna have to do if he's gonna win this fight. Because I don't think he wins a decision. So,
yeah, I agree. Here's the thing. Hold on, wait. Let me make sure. Is YouTube on? Are we on here? Okay, we're good. Sorry. Here's the thing. I actually think you're talking about that Vucenic fight. I actually think Vucenic is really good. Like he had some tough fights on the Cage Warriors promotion. He fought like Paul Hughes. He fought Cherrier, who's also on this card. And yeah, he's really not bad. I know he took that fight in a few days' notice. But the fact that Guram was able to rally after that round one, I know what's his name? Vucenic took that fight in like a week's notice. Mm-hmm. Still very impressive. I think that guy's actually pretty talented. So that showed me that Guram actually still like has it in him. That Elvis Brenner fight was a big concern. He was what, like minus 500 in that fight. I'm not gonna lie, I had him parlayed the fuck up. I think that was after Brenner's debut against Tukgov, where he got like the biggest robbery ever. Don't get me wrong, that was a horrible bet, parlaying Guram at minus 500. But he was winning the fight. He was up 2-0 on like all cards, I believe, and just got body shotted and finished. And he kind of just gave up, I feel. But he took some time off. He fought Vucenic, looked better. I think that was, a little over a year. Vucenic, I think, is a talented guy, regardless on if he's taking the fight on short notice or not. And honestly, this is a step down from Vucenic. Even if Vucenic was taking it on short notice, I think Vucenic on a few days' notice is better than Fernandez. I think Fernandez is just night and day here. I think Vucenic is on Kudalate's level. I don't think Fernandez is on Kudalate's level. I just think he's too technical, and I don't think Fernandez's only hope is catching Kudalate, and he's a kick-heavy guy. I just don't see it happening. There's a reason he's a big favorite. Kudalate is. I'll take him in this one. Let's move on. Next fight, what do we got? We got Keelan Loughran taking on Nathan Fletcher. This is tough for me, I think, but I think I'm gonna go Loughran. First of all, let me say, I've read Loughran's career pretty well. Like, I don't think I had any action on the Lapalus fight, but then he was a minus 300, minus 400 against Pacheco, and I had him in a max bet in a parlay. Of course, his leg cash, the parlay cash, I think I had him with Ruzaboev against Dumas. This was back in March of 2024. And then he lost to Jake Hadley. But I remember, Rohan, that was one of your best calls ever on the podcast. You broke that fight down perfectly. Hadley got it done, stuffed the takedowns, and won that fight clearly. This is a very close fight. Loughran, I do think he bounces back, though. Here's why. I feel like Fletcher's never fought anybody like Loughran. I feel like the striking surprisingly goes to Loughran just because durability. Like, I feel like maybe Fletcher is more technical here, but I just feel like we've seen him get knocked out on Cage Warriors. And I feel like Loughran he's super stiff, but he has some power. He's just a fucking brute of a dude. He's stiff, but he's just strong as fuck. You know? I think Fletcher's gonna, if he can't get takedowns here, I just feel like it's just gonna be who has more power on the feet, and I feel like it's Loughran. I don't know. I mean, Loughran's currently plus money. Do I put bread on him? I honestly don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I think I'm gonna pick him, but is the value enough to bet? If he was like plus 130, I'm betting it, which it says there, but the line's moved since. I think he's like plus 105, plus 100 now. I think this is like a 51-49 fight. But it's going to go the distance, in my opinion. That's what I like. Even at juice, I like the fight goes the distance. I think Fletcher can get hurt, but I don't think Loughran has the power to finish him whatsoever. And I feel like if Fletcher does get the takedown, we've seen him get reversed in the past. So, yeah, he doesn't have the best control. I think Loughran is probably an okay underdog, but it's a super close fight, but I'll pick him.
Yeah, it is a very close fight, but I really like your reasoning there, and I'm kind of tempted to side with Loughran as well, just because of what you just said about the grappling advantage. I think for me it really comes down to his activity level, and that's something I've always been a fan of with him. Obviously, not the most technical guy, like he is kind of like a brute. He just comes forward, will take a few shots to land his own. And likes to just, mix it in close range. He likes to fight in a phone booth and really look to land big shots. Not that he's, putting a lot of people out recently, but I think these matchups, and we talked about the Hadley fight, but again, like Lapalus as well, these are tougher matchups for somebody like him. Those are guys that are very technical and very savvy, and they stick to a game plan. And I think that was what both of those guys did to get over Kalen Loughran. I'm mixing them up. But yeah, the win over Angel Pacheco was a good win. He looked good over the full 3 rounds, got it done. And pretty much had to fight a full mixed martial arts fight, which is probably what I see in this fight as well. I see a lot of exchanges on the ground and on the feet because Fletcher is somebody that has really good grappling, 7 wins by submission. His last fight, arm triangle choke, very impressive, but you mentioned the level of competition, and that's what I'll point to again, and that's why I'm a little higher on Loughran in this fight. I think he's seen a lot more challenging tests in the octagon. I think Hadley has a bigger test. Taylor Lapalus, I know it can look a little, off because he got cut recently, but it doesn't really make a lot of, other than maybe he's a boring fighter, but he knows how to fight smart. I just think, Loughran is not somebody that fights smart, but you kind of have to be like that at times. And I think Fletcher is somebody that if you're doing that against, if you have kind of a game plan where I'm just throwing technique out the window and I'm just going to come forward with the heavier shots, with the more activity and just a higher level of output, I think you're going to have a lot of success. So What it's going to come down to for me is, can he, keep this fight standing and not lose a round decisively? I think, like maybe early on when Fletcher is fresh, then we see like him kind of flexing a little bit, maybe all that he knows on the ground. If he's able to get Loughran down, maybe attempt some submissions. But I just think as the fight goes on, Loughran has been in there with some guys for a long extended period of time, and he's got enough UFC experience to know what he's doing. And I think he's just, overall, I think he's probably just the better fighter and more capable in this spot. I think I like this matchup for him a lot. I do.
Yeah, it's a close one, but I'll side with the dog here in Loughran. I got to do a tiny bit more tape, but there's a chance I
think it's a smart bet. I was pretty surprised looking at the line after doing my tape study, because Fletcher, again, like, it's the names for me. Like, I think Jake Hadley is a really good fighter, and so
really good,
maybe not really good, but he's a solid fighter, and I wasn't shocked that Loughran we picked against him. So I mean, I thought that made sense. But again, like, when it's really one of those guys. Like, he's one of those guys where the matchup really, really matters, because he is kind of stuck in his own way of just, I'm always going to come forward no matter what. I'm always going to throw, whether it's smart or not, whether I leave myself exposed or not. But this is somebody I think you can take a lot of chances against. I really don't like, where is Fletcher going to punish him other unless he catches him in submission. I really think on the feet, there's not too much to be worried about for Caleb Loughran. So it's all about the submission game for me, but I don't know. I like Loughran's chances. I do.
You remember with Jake Hadley, one of my best bets ever was Smotherman against Hadley.
Yeah.
420. I called that.
Smotherman's really good too. Smotherman, I mean, that was short. It was like 4 days notice or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he looked great. That was a great call too.
That was a huge catch. I want him to get a fight, man. He's good.
Weird.
We got my boy FBA in the chat saying, "What up, boys? Who did y'all pick for the first fight? It's gonna be a banger." I went Kudalate. Just, I feel like it's levels. Honestly, I feel like Kudalate's chin is nowhere near where it used to be, but I don't think Fernandez has the power to knock him out.
There is the off chance. I agree with you. There's an off chance for the knockout, or an off chance he catches him in submission. But overall, like, who's the better fighter, right?
Yeah, agreed. I don't know about a submission, but there's always a chance.
No, he'd be on his back a lot. That's the problem. He just gets reversed. I don't know. He does a lot.
I think it's a pure striking fight, and in that, I think Kudalate wins. I think he probably hurts him, stops him late. UFC cut Hadley after he lost to Smotherman. Yep.
No.
Yeah, he's in the PFL now. He's in the PFL tournament. Hadley. Also, Kim Smotherman is scheduled versus Sir. Oh shit.
City.
That's actually a good fight. Fuck, who wins that? I know City had a close fight in this last fight that a lot of people thought he lost. Smotherman. When is that fight? I'm actually curious because Smotherman's really good.
I just looked him up on Google, and Marlon Moraes' picture just came up.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Yo, I'm dead.
And that's in May. That's on May 3rd. Okay. Is that the Iowa card? I think it is. Surrey City. I don't know. I think it's a winnable fight. I do. Yeah, that's a good fight. All right, let's move on. Next fight on the card, we've got. That's a tough fight to call. It's a close one. What do we got next? We've got we got Shawna Bannon versus Pooja Tomar. Honestly, usually I'd slip my wrist and skip this fight, but honestly, I feel like the fact that this isn't dead even on the betting lines, you have to fucking take a stab on Tomar. Plus 155. That's ridiculous. In no world should Shawna Bannon be almost minus 200 against any fighter ever to enter the UFC octagon. Right?
No, absolutely. This is pretty shocking to me. This is pretty shocking. I mean, I saw in the Discord you already placed a bet.
Way to give out my bet. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry. But listen,
I don't care. I was going to say it anyways. I honestly, I could. I'm not going to sit here and break this fight down to you guys because both of these girls are complete dog shit. You have dog shit versus dog shit, but one dog shit is almost minus 200. I'm going to take the dog shit. That's a sizable dog. 10 times out of 10. That's all I have to say. This has to be a Tomar bet here. Oh, he's got a plane. Another bro. What's going on? Oh, the Burbank Airport's right next to you, isn't it? Is it
I don't
gone?
know. I just know there's mad people flying in today. Anyways, look, I'm not gonna give too much of a breakdown because this is a low level fight, but I just I 100% agree with that logic there. There's no way that Shauna Bannon could ever be this big of a favorite against anybody. Number one, she just doesn't do enough, like ever. And I honestly think people were kind of on this. It was the same situation in Puja Tomar's first fight where she was like a bigger underdog. I think she was an underdog in that. And everybody on Twitter, everybody that I was watching, that on YouTube, whatever, everybody had the same opinion. Like, oh, she's just not even close to UFC caliber. But I'm like sitting there like, you can kind of say that for, a lot of the back half of the women division. And Shauna Bannon is one of those girls that I would definitely put in that category. And I don't even know, like Puja Tomar, she didn't look horrid in her last fight. Like she gave a good account of herself.
She won the fight.
She won the fight, exactly. And she was a big underdog. And I really think that she does more. She actually just does more from what I've seen. I think she lands more. She comes forward more. And in women's fights, at this level, I'm not generalizing here, but at this level where it's two lower level female fighters, it really, a lot of the times when there's not going to be a finish, we all know that there's not going to be a finish in this fight. So what is it going to come down to? Who's doing more and who's landing more? And I just think Puja actually comes forward with a little heavier shot. She's a bigger woman. I'm going to pick her, but man, yeah, the line is crazy. You're right. It should be a dead even fight because we all know that this is a decision one way or the other. So it's a pretty surprising one. But hey, I'm Indian, half Indian. I got to rep with my people always. I just picked her in the first fight off of vibes, but I didn't bet on her. This one, I would actually be tempted to bet on her, even though it's a very low level fight and you don't really want to put your money on those often. I've never seen anything of Shauna Bannon to say, oh, minus 200. That's crazy. So, yeah, do what you will with that. But I'm on Tomar as well.
Yeah, I should fucking...
Back-to-back underdogs for both of us. And I'm not even just like, this is actually how I feel, guys. Look, this is actually how we feel.
Bro, you've been talking for 5 minutes about Puja
Tomar. No. I'm going back I'm saying like back-to-back underdog picks of ours. And I think they're both actually like really, really good spots for Loughran.
You're right. You're 100% right about that.
I'm just saying I'm a little surprised that some of
you said that many words about this fight.
Hey, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I completely spaced out. What did you even say? What the fuck?
I basically said Puja Tomar is gonna do more and get the win. Split decision, because it always is. Put $5 on that and go, take your family out for a nice dinner after she wins by split decision. Puja Tomar.
That's a good call. I like the split. Split decision is probably like minus 200, honestly.
Exactly. I think split decision in these level fights, it actually probably happens because 6 out of 10 times at least. So you're gonna get big plus money. Nobody to win it by split. Just put it on the split, on the fight to go to split. That's
we got my boy Cole saying Fletcher gonna win. They fought already.
I did see that. Okay, so bro, I'm looking at the tape.
Brother, this fight happened like 8 years ago.
I know. But I was looking at it, I was like,
kids. They were both kids.
I know they were kids. Because I was looking at it, I was like, why is it not on the Tapology? But it's because they're so young. It's like
no, it's on the Tapology. It's just under amateur.
It is? I didn't even see
amateur fight. It wasn't even a pro fight, dude. There were kids. That doesn't fucking matter at all. Stop.
Regardless. I think it's a good matchup for Kalan Loughran.
I think not his name. It's Keelan Loughran.
I don't know how to say that.
Uncultured swine.
Keelan Loughran. That's my boy. That's my boy, though, bro. I have a good read on this guy. I picked Hadley against him, and I think we were both on him to win against Pacheco pretty easily. I remember that, and we're both on him here again as an underdog, and I like it. I like the play. I like it.
You tell him. All right. We got more fights to talk about. Next one, oh my God. This is a funny one. Andre Pulev taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. I'll keep this one short and sweet just because I think Leroy Duncan, hence the odds, will run through Pulev. Pulev had a Contender Series fight in which he was also this big of a dog. I feel like his opponent was like actually minus 1,000, some crazy shit like that. And his opponent just looked like he fucking caught COVID-19 on the day of the fight. And he was pretty much a punching bag and threw 0 strikes and laid on his back and did absolutely nothing. And Pulev won the fight. I still feel like, despite being 27 years old, Pulev is insanely green. Like, he is somewhat technical, but if his opponent on the Contender Series threw punches, he would have found success because Pulev's striking defense, even when he wasn't getting strikes thrown at him, you could tell his striking defense is god awful. Not only that, his opponent, he could have ragdolled. This guy is he's just frail and ass. I think Duncan should be minus 2,000 here. Even if Duncan decides not to wrestle, I just feel like Pulev one body shot is just gonna crumple this dude.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. I mean, it's just you have a guy that's fought good competition. He beats everybody, and there's somebody else on this card, Jai Herbert, why I have the same reasoning. He beats everybody he's supposed to beat on paper. Like Ribeiro, he's supposed to finish him, he does it. Talunian, supposed to finish him, he does it. That was a fucking
Dusko.
But then Petrosian, close fight, goes the distance. Petrosian won clearly, but close fight. When he's supposed to beat somebody on paper, he does just that. And that's the case here. I know that's not too much of a technical breakdown, but it's you got somebody who's got incredible experience, who's really good, who's in the prime of his career, versus a guy who's just frail as shit, and I don't even think is UFC caliber. Yeah, this is CLD all day, every day here. I like him. Put him in all your parlays, even at minus 500.
No, I couldn't have said it better. Honestly, I parlay piece, but I like him to finish this fight. I really do. I think he is. He's a really good striker, man. Like the guys that he's losing to, Gregory Rodriguez, he's got power there, and he's also a solid striker. I feel like Gregory is one of those guys you kind of really got to take risks against him to get inside, because he also doesn't have the best striking defense, but he is also a brick wall. So you got to kind of get through that and find the chin to impact him. And I think Duncan was a little bit timid in that one. Petrosian, he's a really good distance striker. There's no shame in that. But I really think that Chris Leroy Duncan is a really good distance striker. And he probably has the wrestling edge in this one as well. I just think all the signs point to a domination. And one thing that, we're not really factoring in as much, but we know how raucous this fucking UK crowd gets. And this is one of their guys. Like, I really do feel like they rally behind Chris Leroy Duncan a lot whenever he's on those cards. I think it's not the first time he's fought there. I think this is going to be a spot where he's very energized, coming off of a loss, but again, a loss that's not a bad loss, a loss against a guy that was just fighting against the top 5 guy in the division. So you're not too far off of good things, down the road. And I think you said it perfectly. He beats who he's supposed to beat. And I think he beats and finishes Puniev. I just think he's Puliev. Sorry, I'm messing up with names today, bro. I'm awful with the names today, but I do think Chris Leroy Duncan is just the better fighter here. Oh, I know, bro. Damn, yo, chill, SBA, chill. Like, damn.
Try the Irish name one more time.
All right, Kylan. Is it?
No,
Kylan?
bro. Keelan.
Oh,
Loughran.
Keelan Loughran. Keelan Loughran. Ooh. Keelan Loughran. That's my boy. And you know what? I have the best reads on Keelan Loughran, and I'm picking Keelan Loughran to beat Nathan Fletcher this Saturday. Boom. Pronounce that, FBA. Yeah.
All right. Shut up.
All right.
Next. Good. All right. This is probably right here the toughest fight to call on the card, in my opinion. Hence the line, which is dead even. Marcin Tybura taking on Mick Parkin. On paper, this should be a wash for Tybura. But I don't know. Like, I feel like Denise, Tybura's last win, just has no ground game, and Tybura was able to dominate him and finish him. Spivak, he got armbarred. That was he was winning, and then he just, his fat ass just got caught in a submission. He submitted to Tuivasa. Tuivasa showed up to that fight drunk, whatever. Knocked out by Aspinall, obviously zero shame in that. Beat Blagoy Ivanov. Okay win. The dude was like 49 at the time. You look at the wins of Mick Parkin, he's beat absolutely nobody. He knocked out Dresky, who has horrible chin, and he did what he should have done. Decision to Usman, as he should have. Decision Machado, as he should have. It's just the level of competition on the Parkin side is just piss shit. I think I don't know. We just haven't seen anybody shoot a takedown on Mick Parkin. Mick Parkin's training with Tom Aspinall, probably the best fighter on planet Earth, right? The scariest, probably the most dangerous human being on the planet right now. Is that crazy to say? He probably is, right?
I guess so. I mean, Francis is still existing.
Nah, stop it.
Bro, that power. Tom Aspinall don't got that power. He's got the most in the UFC right now, probably. But man, I think Francis is a little scarier. If I do say so.
Okay,
but
that's besides the point. We'll say. Yeah, I just feel like level of competition. I mean, this is a close fight. We just haven't seen Parkin get tested with the wrestling, and he's getting fucking takedowns spammed against him by the best heavyweight in the world. But Tybora's game is completely different. I don't know, man. It's a super tough one to call, honestly. I don't know if I'm going to bet this one. I don't think I will, but I'll just pick Tybura based on level of competition. I also feel like that Denise fight was pretty impressive. The fact that he was able to finish him on the ground. Denise, I know a lot of people think this guy's a high-level kickboxer with zero ground game. He was supposed to do that. And you look at that Austin Lane fight in which he got like ragdolled in round 1 and then came back to finish him. But then look at that Carl Williams fight. Like, Williams goes out there and fucking just spams takedowns and what's his name? Who am I talking about? Fuck. I lost myself. Who? Carl Williams versus Denise. Sorry, Denise. Denise, I actually don't feel like he has horrible takedown defense at this stage of his career. I actually think he's a kickboxer that was actually getting a lot better at wrestling as his career was going on. And then he just took too big of a step up in competition, faced Tybura, and got ragdolled in that one, despite having some success in round 1. It's a tough one. Level of competition, though. I'll go Tybura. Not a lot of confidence. Who do you got?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in marching Tybura this weekend. I'm shocked by a lot of these lines, and this is the one. I mean, I was looking at fight odds thinking, at least, minus 150 Tybura. No, I was pretty surprised to see him at plus money. I just think, what more is there to say? Like, the level of competition is night and day. I mean, he's fighting guys that have been in the top 5 of the division, like, repeatedly. I mean, Aspinall, Tuivasa, Spivak, those are guys like even Volkov, back in the day, Spivak before he's been around for so long. Derek Lewis, Steven Struve, Augusto Sakai, Andrei Arlovsky, like, he's fought everybody. And I really just think that he knows at this point how to fight a smart guy, how to fight a smart fight against one-dimensional guys, as Jonathan Denise was, and as Mick Parkin is. Unless the Tom Aspinall training is paying off to a degree where he's all of a sudden some crazy, takedown defense guy where he doesn't have to worry about it at all, then that's a different story, because I do think that Mick Parkin's boxing is better. Like, he's a faster, more put together striker probably than Marcin Tybura. But Marcin Tybura is not afraid to get hit, like he's been knocked out, but I mean, by Tom Aspinall and by who else? Augusto Sakai is a bad loss. But that was 5 years ago. We don't have to talk about that. Derek Lewis and Tom Aspinall are two of his few knockout losses or 2 of his 5 knockout losses. But I just don't think Mick Parkin has that power. I don't think Mick Parkin has the experience. And I think, like, even in, the 3rd round, who's going to be wearing on who and winning the meaningless minutes that everybody's just going to be snoring through is going to be Marcin Tybura, because he has that clinch game in his bag. And I just think that that's enough to get the job done over somebody like Parkin. Plane's coming again, so I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, Cole makes a good point here, saying Parkin will win a crazy robbery due to crowd hype. Like,
I forgot about the London situation, but
yeah.
And he's fought but Tybura's fought in London a few times. He fought Aspinall. Didn't he fight Aspinall? I don't know. No, he didn't fight him in London. That was but I feel like he's fought.
He did. He did fight him.
He did, right? Okay. Yeah. So he's familiar with that environment. He's never. I mean, nobody's ever really rooting for Marcin Tybura. So I mean, yeah, I guess the judges is one thing, but I really think, like, if it's a decision, and Tybura has any sort of success, it's coming on the ground. Like, he's gonna be able to take this guy down, unless Tom Aspinall has trained him or whatever his camp has trained him to be some sort of demon when it comes to takedown defense. But I don't think that's the case here. I think Marcin Tybura is good enough to hand Mick Parkin his first loss. I really can't believe he's had a few scary ones. Mick Parkin, man,
that's crazy.
He's had a few scary ones, though. A few, like, I mean, look, I look at the level of Lucas Bresky is one of the worst fighters. Same with Muhammad Usman. No disrespect to him, but they're just not even good. Like there's not much more to be said about that. So, not too impressed with Parkin's resume, but I like Ty Brewer in this spot as well. So, a lot of dogs on this card. They're barking. I don't know.
I mean, it's very, very, very slight dog, practically an even line. But yeah, I think
Sure,
I'll
I
start.
think it might move though.
I'm not as confident as you, just because I think this fight goes the distance, and then in that case, they may hand it to the British, to the Brit. Sorry, but I'll go Tybor. All right, next one we got Lonnie Kavanaugh, Felipe dos Santos. Kavanaugh is a guy that really impressed me in the Contender Series. Vicious knockout. It's a backflip after. Looked insanely good. Then goes 15 minutes against a really tough guy in Jose Ochoa in his UFC debut in Singapore, I believe. And yeah, that was his last one, right? Yeah, that was his UFC debut. Yeah, he impressed me. The fact that he was able to go 15 minutes, didn't slow down, looked really good. Just looked really good everywhere. I was super impressed there by Kavanaugh. This is a step up, though. A guy in Dos Santos who, I mean, this guy has fought murderer's row since he's joined the UFC. Fights fucking Cop on like a few days' notice in his debut. Loses, but actually, does okay. Then he wins against Altamirano. Let's be real. He shouldn't have won a single fight in the UFC. If we're being completely honest, he lost that fight to Altamirano. And then he loses the fight to Andre Lima. Had his moments, but he lost the fight. He probably should have been cut by now. Kind of got gifted against Altamirano, but at the same time, I'm glad he won that fight against Altamirano. I'm glad that he got that robbery just because he deserves to be here, right? He deserves to. But I think Kavanaugh is, I don't want to say levels just because I feel like Dos Santos has a chance of knocking Kavanaugh out. I mean, Kavanaugh's somewhat chinny, kind of leaves his chin in the air. But skill-wise, I mean, Kavanaugh's significantly better. I feel like on the feet, it's close due to Dos Santos has that power advantage and probably can knock him out. But if Kavanaugh could just mix in the wrestling, I mean, he wins this fight all day, every day, and he covers that minus 300 line plus more. But even if he doesn't, it'll be close. But I think he wins just off volume. Doesn't seem to get tired. He went a hard 15 minutes and looked great against the guy in Jose Ochoa who will not stop coming forward whatsoever. Yeah, that was definitely a fight that made him better. But this is a different matchup against Dos Santos who can chin him. He's got a height and reach advantage. Usually it doesn't matter in MMA, but here it definitely will. I just hope Kavanaugh mixes the martial arts and makes this one look easy. I think this guy's smart. And I think he's really good. And I'm gonna pick him to win.
Yeah, we're agreeing a lot on this card. I'm sorry to the fans that love to see the bickering, but I really can't argue with this one, man. I like the reasoning, and from the tape, I think Loner is a really solid all-around guy. I mean, I think
Lonnie.
What did I say?
Loner.
I'm just out of it today, bro. My bad, yo. My bad with the pronunciation. Lonnie Kavanaugh. Listen, I like what I've seen from him. I think he is cut from that cloth of just like like you said, smart guys, trained in a good camp basically his whole career. Same with Dos Santos. I've been impressed with most of his UFC career thus far. Obviously, the Manel Cop result speaks for itself. It was an impressive debut, even in the loss. And then tough matchups, not the Altamirano one. That was weird. And honestly, yeah, he probably lost that fight. But then I really think that Lima is a big problem for a lot of guys in the division. So not really too much shame in that loss. But again, another really, really tough matchup for him here. And this division is just tough. I think as we kind of keep getting on and getting more contenders, kind of injected into the mix, like it's getting really competitive throughout the top 15 and even after that. So I really think this is another one, a tough matchup. But I like what I've seen from Kavanaugh. What the hell is on the screen?
What the fuck? Wait, how do I get rid of this? Oh,
what the hell? That big ass ad.
Wait, what? Okay, here we go.
Anyways, I think that Felipe Dos Santos, what it comes down to for me is that he's less he's not as clean as Kavanaugh, and I'm mainly talking in a defensive aspect. I feel like the takedowns are very available for Kavanaugh. Like whenever he really kind of wants to mix that in, he doesn't really even have to. I think because on the feet he's got a good rhythm to his game. I think he fights within himself. He doesn't take a lot of dumb risks, with which I think some of these guys in the Truth the Box camp they tend to do. They tend to get a little crazy in there. And it pays off a lot of times. When you're fighting somebody like Manel Kopp, you have to be crazy. You have to match his crazy. And he did that to a good degree. But, man, when you're fighting somebody as technically sound, I think, as somebody like Kavanaugh, you got to be a little smarter. And I worry about Felipe in that sense. I think the takedowns are going to be there for Kavanaugh. And on the feet, he's just going to land at a cleaner and more frequent rate than Felipe Dos Santos. I think it's going to be a high-paced fight, obviously, with these flyweights, but these are two really, really, really good flyweights, and I just think, I think Kavanaugh gets the better of him just based on being the safer guy. Like I think he's just safer everywhere. He's smarter, will make better decisions in their higher fight IQ. So that's why I'm going to side with Kavanaugh as well. I could see a finish, but I'll say decision, unanimous decision.
Yeah, I don't think he finished him. I think Dos Santos is super tough. I think Kavanaugh decision. I'm with you here. All right, next one. What do we got? We've got Jai Herbert, Chris Padilla. Yeah, I like Padilla. Sorry, fuck. I'm so white. We've got Herbert. I know he's 36, going on 37, but he hasn't really shown that. Like, he looked really good in that last fight against Bedoya. I thought he won that fight. It was super close. I know a lot of people were like unanimous. Bedoya actually made that fight insanely close. I think Herbert just earned the decision. I had to bet on Bedoya personally. Yeah, it's a similar fight, except Padilla's going to look for takedowns, but he's a little sloppier on the feet compared to Bedoya. I think, the big octagon is definitely going to favor Herbert. The hometown advantage is going to favor Herbert. This is going to go the distance. That's going to favor Herbert considering he's a Brit. I just think he's going to pick Padilla apart. Here's the thing about Padilla. He's lucky as fuck. Like, yeah, he had a brutal elbow against Rongju, broke his orbital. But I feel like Rongju, wins that fight 8 times out of 10. He just gave him the brawl. Rongju gave Padilla the brawl he wanted and won, every single minute of that fight up until that elbow. Now you have Jai Herbert, who's not going to give him that brawl. He's going to stick to the outside. He's got good takedown defense. He's going to stick him with that jab, stick him with that too, and win a decision, in my opinion. I just think Padilla is too sloppy. I don't think he gets the takedowns, and I think that elbow was lucky as fuck. I usually don't say that. I very, very rarely say something is lucky in the sport of MMA. I feel like Padilla usually loses that fight to Rongju, and that's him giving Padilla the fight that he wanted, which is a brawl, as I already mentioned. Herbert, he'll fight to a game plan here. I think he wins the decision. The line doesn't make any sense. I think Herbert's going to look minus 300 here. Honestly, I think this is a Herbert spot, in my opinion, by decision. This fight goes the distance no matter what.
Yeah. Again, we're in agreement again, guys. I hate to say it, but perfect breakdown. And if my boy Cole is still in the chat somewhere, we had a conversation about Chris Padilla because we rewatched that elbow that he landed against Rongju when Rongju was actually fucking up Cody Steele. And he looked like insane in that fight, was eating so many shots. And I'm like, dude, how old is this guy, first of all? And I seen he's only 25. So I think that just was a young fighter's mentality that he had, and he brought into that fight with Padilla. He obliged him in his sort of fight. And that's what, look at Padilla's resume. It's 5 finishes in a row. But again, look at who he's fighting. Rongju completely obliged him in the brawl. James Lontop will completely oblige you in a brawl. And then on the regional scene, all these guys are kind of just, doing it for whatever. But listen, I think this is a spot for Jai Herbert to actually just showcase his striking. I think Padilla is one, if you're able to keep him at bay, he doesn't really have that much to offer because it's hard for him to close the distance. He's the shorter guy here. He's got to get inside to land those powerful shots like that elbow that he landed against Rongju. But Rongju is sitting there throwing looping shots and just, not moving forward at all and not tactically moving, laterally at all. Like Jai Herbert is a striker that will eat up the space. Like you said, oh my God, I love how you mentioned the big octagon. It's going to help him so much. Like he's got the free range to just move around, keep his distance, keep fighting behind his lead lead techniques as he does. And I think he's just going to, pick him apart, because when you have a guy that knows how to reach the target, is very accurate with his striking, and has good enough takedown defense to always keep it standing, versus somebody who really just relies on those power shots, you got to side with the cleaner fighter. So Jai Herbert in his home environment with the crowd behind him, big spot for him. It's going to be a lot of Padilla fans, as well. So it'll be a fun fight, and I think he gets it done.
There's gonna be a lot of Padilla.
No. I'm saying he's an excited fighter, so it's just gonna be the environment's gonna be buzzing, man. By this fight in the card, what is this? Where is this on the card? Is this this is not the featured prelim, but it's close, right?
Something like that.
It's close. Yeah, it's the second. I think. No, actually, no, it's not. It's not close to the fucking feature. Anyways, it should be. It's a fun fight. Jai Herbert gets it done. I like him.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. We got the chat FBI saying nobody has tried to take down Parkin, so that's the risk with this fight, because we don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Very true. Very true. I just think Tybura gets the takedowns. I think he gets the takedowns.
I don't know. We'll see. This line is disrespectful to Dos Santos. Yeah, I mean, I think Kavanaugh should probably be like minus 275, minus 300. I agree with that. I think he's a smart guy. I think he mixes in the wrestling and probably wins a clear decision. My boy Tate in the chat, what's going on, Tate? Cole saying Rongju, my goat. Yeah, he cashed me big time on that dog play right there against Cody Steele. All right, let's move on. Next one we got. No, that was the featured prelim, buddy.
It was
Wood taking on Morgan Charrier.
Ooh,
this is an interesting fight. Charrier, he's a tough fighter to read. I mean, he makes his debut against Zucchini, who we haven't seen since, finishes him as he should have. Then he fights Chepe Mariscal in a fight in which I feel like 95% of fans thought he won, but it goes the Mariscal way. Regardless, great fight that makes you better. An absolute war in the apex. Fuck, I wish that fight was in front of a crowd. Imagine it was in front of this British crowd. That would have been insane. Regardless, great fight. And then looks like all right against Miranda, and then just knocks him out in round 2. I expected him to make that look much easier, but regardless, he finds the finish. And he's taken a step back up here against Nathaniel Wood. Wood had probably rank around the level of Chepe Mariscal. Nathaniel Wood, he's an interesting fighter because, he keeps bouncing from 135, 145. This fight is a featherweight fight, right? Where can I see that? Featherweight. Yeah, featherweight fight. He looked really good in his last fight against Pineda. I mean, he looked really clean. But at the same time, I mean, this is a step up in competition. He's going from Pineda, Naimov, Feely, Jordan. I mean, these guys are good. These are good fighters, but I feel like Sherry is just a little bit better. First of all, I just think Sherry is too big of a favorite. I don't think he should be minus 185 here. I think that's kind of crazy. I think I'd lined it around like minus 120, to be honest. So in that case, I feel like you have to bet Wood. But if you're going to bet Wood, just take Wood decision plus 200. Like, he's not finishing anybody. I think he's had like 8 straight fights with decisions. He had that fight against Pineda in which he hurt him like 19 times. He didn't get the finish. Sherry is really good, much better than Pineda at this stage of his career. I don't think he gets finished. I think Wood, the leg kick is going to be open. Sherry does not know how to check a calf kick whatsoever. That's going to be, if Wood wants to win, he needs to stay technical. He needs to kick the legs. He needs to fight a really good game plan. It's going to be a close fight. It's going to go the distance. I don't know. I'll go the hometown guy. It's a split decision. I don't think I'm going to bet it. Maybe I'll go Wood decision, honestly. I mean, I feel like that's got to be value. The guy, every one of his fights within the last few years have gone the distance. Sherry is a really tough guy, and I feel like Wood, in front of his home crowd, wants to win. We'll fight to a game plan. I guess I'll pick him by decision. I feel like by decision is value, but like when it comes to an outright pick, this is a very close fight. But shouldn't be this big of a dog, in my opinion.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh, we're just reading this card very, very similarly, man. I must say, like, I didn't even see the odds. But I'm just thinking about the way these two. Sorry, is that loud? No, it's not.
No, you're good.
When Charrier is in there, like his debut, he looked incredible. Burst onto the scene, everybody was blown away. But he has had some turmoil. It's not like they've all been. Obviously, the Chepe fight was a dog fight. And I mean, like, yeah, he's one of those guys that he relies on those fast twitch actions, and in a split second, he'll just lift his leg, boom, knock hit you with one of those shots that you just won't see coming. Like he's one of those guys that is, I think, that a moment winner. Like he's a moment winner. Nathaniel Wood is literally the definition in my eyes of a minute winner. Like he just is a very savvy and smart fighter. Like he sorry.
You might have to go. You might have to go inside.
I'm not, should I just at this point, should I just move inside real quick?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to talk louder than the fucking, they're blowing leaves and shit, man. Oh my God. Anyways, I just think Nathaniel Wood with the hometown, I really think this is going to be a factor in this fight. The fact that the crowd is there, they're going to be hyping him up. And he is a smart guy. Like I like his timing on everything that he does. Really, like when he chooses to mix in the leg kicks, when he chooses to take his opponent down, like he always times it well. Oh my God, is it that bad?
Take your ass inside. All right, you can unmute now. Fuck.
Change of scene, swift change of scene. If you're
asking me, keep going.
I think. Look, this is a spot where Nathaniel Wood can do what he's good at, because Morgan Sherrier doesn't move forward when he's striking. He's one of those guys that likes to be a stationary target. He moves his head well, but he doesn't move his body well. And I just think Nathaniel Wood, he's going to have avenues to win the minutes in this fight just by doing the more work on the feet, just being more active. And then also, I think his timing of the takedowns. Sherry is a very hard guy to take down. Don't get me wrong. Not a lot of guys have even really tried it, but I think that, Nathaniel Wood is one of those guys that if you miss with a big strike and keep yourself out of position, or if it's later in the fight and he knows that he has to secure a round, he's the type of guy that will do that by taking you down and just laying on you and just doing minimal damage. So I really think that there's a path for Nathaniel Wood to win this fight. And the real path for Sherrier is to knock him out, which he could definitely do. Don't get me wrong. Like that is on the table with the way this guy fights. He's a high octane, don't blink type of fighter, because he'll pull some shit out of his ass. But I think the safer pick here, and this is why I'm rolling with Nathaniel Wood at plus money in his backyard, I think he has the better chances here. So Nathaniel Wood is my pick. And yeah, man, I'm surprised. We've literally agreed on even the underdogs, but I think these are all like really good reads from both of us, to be honest, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I mean, this is a 50-50 fight in my eyes. Really is. All the finishing potentials on the Sherrier side, but the line, I think, is off. But yeah, I'll side with the dog, I guess, just because he's the dog. Next one, what do we got? Second fight of the main card, Jordan Vucenic taking on Chris Duncan. We talked about Vucenic earlier, made his debut on a few days' notice, looked really good. But this guy, I mean, his Cage Warriors career was just like insane. Fought what? Sherrier a few times, Paul Hughes a few times. I mean, he's just been through the fucking ringer. Like, it's insane. He's good. I think this guy's really good. He's in the prime of his career. Put up a good showing against Kudalate on a few days' notice. Obviously slowed down after that round one and lost the decision. I remember I bet him, I think, at like plus 200, and that was an incredible bet in my opinion, just because he made the fight so close. This is a weird fight. First of all, I think Vucenic wins, and there's no way I'm betting on Chris Duncan because it's Chris Duncan. But how was Vucenic minus 400 here? Like, he put up a close fight against Kudalate, but Duncan is not horrible. Like, he lost against Torres, and Torres got his only path to victory, which was the round one sub. But, like, the guy isn't shit. Like, he's not shit. And Vucenic, I don't feel like he's a world beater. Like, he's good. He's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, minus 400 is just insane. Look, I just feel like Vucenic is all around the better mixed martial artist. But, again, this line is fucking nuts. All I have to say is I'm picking Vucenic, and I'm staying away from this fight without a doubt, because how do I bet this? I'm not betting on fucking Chris Duncan because he's stiff as shit. But Vucenic shouldn't be minus 400 just because he's 0-1 in the UFC, but that one loss was insanely close against a good guy who we don't even know where he is at this stage in his career because he looked shit recently in that Elvis Burner fight. I don't know. This line is based off fucking MMA math. It's weird and gay, but I'll pick Vucenic, but I'm not betting. I'll just watch.
Yeah, he's the safer choice here for sure, just based on, how he's shown to be a good all-around guy. And I think like the grappling might be a little competitive here, but on the feet, I think I've been more impressed from what I've seen from Vucenic than what I've seen from Chris Duncan. a lot more durable everywhere. I think that's the number one thing. I think he knows how to kind of protect his neck on the ground, and also just, you know, he'll eat a few shots on the feet, but also, I mean, the losses aren't the worst, you know, like Guram Kudalatse. I mean, that's not a bad loss at all, and I don't know. I just think overall, maybe the slightly better comp, although Chris Duncan has faced, you know, guys like Vyacheslav Borishev. But this losing by submission to Manuel Torres doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And that worries me a lot, because if Vucenic does, you know, choose later in the fight to try to work the ground game, I think maybe the chances are there for him to find a submission as well. But on the feet, I see this fight playing out on the feet for the majority of it. I just think both guys are more comfortable on the feet. There's a lot more risk for both on the ground. Like, you know, Jordan Vucenic has been no, he's never been even finished, so not too much to worry about. That's why I love the durability on his side. But Duncan, you know, some wins, some losses by submission. I think he'll prefer to keep it on the feet as well. So I just think in that sort of fight, I think Vucenic just is a little better, man. He's just a better striker. You mentioned how Duncan is kind of stiff on the feet. I think, yeah, that's like kind of how I see it as well. Like he just a little too raw on the feet for me. So I think Jordan Vucenic is a safe pick. Yeah, the line is a little wide. I would probably have it around like minus 180, something like that. But yeah, overall, I think he's just a better fighter. He's a better fighter.
I'd probably line it at like minus 200. Yeah, similar. Not wide, but yeah, I'm not betting on this fight. What we got going on in the chat? We got Combat in there, always saying the same shit. Get the fuck out of here. Who would you guys never bet on, and why? Is it Izzy? What?
Why is it who?
Izzy? I don't know.
Who would you guys never bet on, and why is it Izzy?
I don't know.
Marvin, Izzy 3 would be funny. That's not a fight anybody wants to see.
Izzy would smash him.
I don't want to see that. I want Izzy to retire. As a very big Izzy fan, I think.
Why would you not want to see Izzy Marvin? That's a winnable fight.
No. But if he loses, though, but if for some reason he lost, oh my God, bro, the legacy just goes down the drain. Like, he's good with these 3 losses right now. They're fine losses. Like Strickland, ugly loss. He didn't look like himself. Fine. Duplessis got manhandled, and then Imavov is a really good contender. You go out on your shield, boom. But I don't want to see him lose to Marvin again, man. Or not lose to him again, but even lose to Marvin. He's so bad. I hate Marvin. Fuck Marvin Vettori, yo. Fuck him if you're watching this. Marvin. Yeah, because I don't like you. You're boring, bro. Sorry.
Why you dissing Marvin, bro? Shout out Marvin. He made me a lot of money.
Nah, bro. No. Him and Roman, both of them.
Yeah, fuck them both. Yeah. You tell him.
I didn't see the fight, to be honest. That's why I'm mad. I missed the main event. I was all over the place.
That was like the worst main event. I can't give up.
That card was hilarious, bro. But the women were getting finishes, yo.
They need to abolish the Apex. It is stunting.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That's the one thing I thought about actually last weekend, and I was like, yo, low key, because when what's her name? Was it Priscilla Cachoeira? When she knocked out Josiane Nunes, and then just like stood over her, nodded her head, and then she was like, ah, and then you can hear that shit echo through. I was like, damn, low key, maybe they could keep the Apex, because it does kind of just enhance.
Oh, bro, come on, bro. Okay, fuck hearing that. Imagine the fucking crowds roaring over a dyke knocking out another dyke. That would have been fucking electric.
I know. I mean, you can never go wrong with having a crowd. I'm not saying that, but it's just so different when you can hear every shot, how clean it is. Like that Gaethje Ferguson fight. I'll never forget it because
for 4 years. It's stunting the growth of, shut up. It's stunting the growth of the sport. They put a bunch of contender series.
It is stunting the growth. It is. That's not.
I don't give a fuck what you have to say. It's shit.
But it's tough sometimes. Sometimes it can be tough. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes it can be tough.
Cole saying Luke is the type of guy to an incredible bet at +200. Bro, but like if it's +200 and it goes the distance and it's a split decision or a very close fight, 100% it's a fucking great bet. The fuck? That's how betting works. That's what I'm saying.
You can say that about a lot of sports too.
In the fight between I'm trying to think. What's an example of this? Fakhretdinov versus Leal. Remember that I had a bet on Leal.
Sometimes you just is out of your hands. It's a good, you're right. There's good bets, obviously, but in this sport specifically, it's like it's so much harder when the judges are so corrupt. You know, like, oh man, there's sometimes it just feels like You have the best read, like you did in that one. We both were on layout huge.
I don't want to get into that shit, bro. That's the worst rivalry ever. FBA is saying we need Vucenic versus Brady for the tattoo championship. Literally, they're both fucking tatted like crazy. We'll get into Brady later. Crazy how they're on the same card. All right, next fight. What do we got? Damn, bro, this is a long one.
They do look similar.
Molly McCann versus Alexia Tainara. First of all, this. I don't know if you've watched Tainara before, Rohan. I don't know if you've done the tape on this one yet.
I did a little bit. She's nasty.
It was probably the worst opening line in the history of MMA gambling ever I've ever seen. Molly McCann opened this fight as a minus 450 favorite to Tainara was like plus 325, and it changed in a millisecond to Tainara minus 175 in a millisecond. And I agree. I mean, I feel like Tainara should be minus 400.
Yeah. I was just about to say.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that.
McCann is shit. She's ass. She's fucking dog ass. Completely shit. Tainara, she's a Brazilian on steroids. She's great everywhere. She's going to be a problem. She's a future contender. I think she's amazing. This is insane. Like, she beat a really good fighter on the contender series, actually. She is super impressive. She's legit.
Wait, let me check the odds right now. What are they?
What?
What
She's
are
minus 155.
255.
What?
What you said? Say it again. I'm sorry.
She's minus 180.
Oh, okay. She's still at that price. Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Bet. Cool.
Yeah, I know. It's free. It's literally free money.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to say that, but at the same time, it really feels like that. Though, it really does.
Levels.
And it's these Brazilian women. It's a very you're either like good at everything, or you're just like a brute striker that just doesn't do anything. But yeah, I know what you're doing. But listen, this girl, like, she's actually like, she's got good striking. She's fast. She's yeah. I mean, hey, if you're on that end of the
say it, bro, we're not gonna get fucking.
Yeah, bro. She's probably likely roided up, but hey, she's better than Molly McCann in these current circumstances. I think Molly McCann, man, she's just a prize fighter, if you can even call her that. She's just the UK's puppet, basically, and that's no disrespect. Like, I actually do mess with Molly McCann. I think that, you know, she brings great energy every fight. She's an entertaining fight. She's had some good moments. Huh? Don't get mad. I'm hyping up Molly McCann. Hold on. Let me finish. She got the Kimura. She's got two back-to-back. Hey, we're not gonna forget about 2022 back-to-back. I mean, yes, it was Luana Carolina and Hannah Goldie, but she did get back-to-back spinning back elbow knockout. That's crazy. She's just fun. She's just fun to watch. Yeah. React like that. But no, I just think, yeah, this is too tall of a task for Molly McCann, man. It's not gonna happen this time. I'm sorry, UK fans. I'm sorry, London crowd. This is not gonna go the way of Molly McCann. It's not.
Yeah, Tainara is legit. I don't give a fuck if she's taking this fight on a week's notice. She's like on crack, I think. I literally think she's on crack. Like, that contender series fight was so funny. She just fucking demolished this girl, who's actually good, really good, and she just runs through. It's crazy. I remember I bet on Tainara too. That was incredible cash just because she beat the living shit out of this girl, and she's got a granite chin, bro. She got like clocked so many times, and she just didn't give a fuck and kept pressing her. Yeah, dude, this is a nuke. Yeah. I love Tainara here. I already put a fuck ton of money. I think I'm gonna put more. We got FBA. Oh, we already saw that. We got my boy Bank. Not sure who that is, but we always see him down here. Saying Leon Edwards is trash.
Yo. Yo. Don't disrespect my GOAT, Leon Edwards. And he's gonna remind all you, because I know there's more people in the comments that feel like this, and you probably one of them.
We'll get into this later. Fuck. We're being here for a fucking hour. We're not even at the fucking.
But listen,
feature fight.
Leon Edwards is winning. That's a little foreshadowing, not really. Moving on, let's move on. Kevin Holland. Fucking Kevin Holland. Oh my God.
Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson. Surprise. One of my biggest bets ever on a money line was Reiner de Ritter over Kevin Holland. And you may be saying, oh, he's going to fucking max bet Gunnar Nelson here because Gunnar Nelson's elite on the ground. No, I'm not. I'm going to bet on Kevin Holland here for multiple reasons. Kevin Holland, when he's fighting at 170, he seems to be taking his career actually like he's fighting in the UFC instead of a side hustle. He's looked really good at 170. Close fight with JDM, finished Mike Chiesa. He looks really good, and he can actually stuff a takedown and show off his actual skill. At 185, he's just there to fucking get his 400K and dip. He's on an insane contract, by the way. Against he's taking on Gunnar Nelson. And my other reason is Gunnar Nelson fights once every fucking 2 years. His last fight was in what, 2023? The guy never fights. He's inactive on the feet. I think this is a wash. I just hope Holland is taking this fight somewhat seriously. I think he stuffs the takedowns. I feel like Gunnar Nelson's takedowns will be, he'll be able to fucking catch on to them easily. Gunnar Nelson has no striking. He's not going to be able to set up these takedowns. Holland's going to defend them, and the power advantage is huge. Striking advantage is huge. This line is fucking piss shit. I think Holland should be minus 200. I really do. Just because Gunnar Nelson has grappling doesn't mean he's going to win the fight. Holland dropping down to 170 shows that, okay, maybe he's actually going to somewhat focus on his career. Look at the tail of the tape as well. 4-inch height advantage. Not only that, we're almost a 10-inch reach advantage, 9 to be exact. It's going to be a fucking wash on the feet, and I think the takedowns from Nelson are going to be way too telegraphed. Ring rust as well. I mean, all signs are pointing towards Holland. I just hope that he doesn't show up to the fight high out of his mind. He should win this.
Oof. Yeah. I think this might be the first, because I just can't trust this guy anymore, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, every single fight, he just finds a way to look worse than he should or do the wrong thing. And it's always so obvious what should be done. And then now he has a matchup where it's very obvious what he should do. But my worry is that, is he going to be able to keep Gunnar Nelson? Is he going to be able to finish him? That's my worry here, because if this gets to like after the first round and all the fluctuation at the weight makes me worry a little bit about how he operates later in the fight. And the thing about Gunnar Nelson, like, yeah, he doesn't fight a lot at all. I mean, I don't even know what Gunnar Nelson does these days. I thought he was out of the UFC when I saw this fight be announced. I was like, wait, what? He's back? Like, okay. But I mean, his last 2 losses are against Gilbert Burns and Leon Edwards, and he actually didn't even look bad against either one. He got his orbital bone broke by Leon Edwards. I remember that 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, but he actually looked decent on the feet and he doesn't do dumb things. He takes his time and he looks to get inside, obviously, to get to the ground, and that's where he shines. But for Kevin Holland, and this is where I struggle with this fight, is because I think he needs to finish him in order to keep him off of him for all 3 rounds. I think that if he doesn't catch him early, like Gunnar Nelson has shown in the past to be able to wear damage and still come forward and actually just be in a fight. I can't pick Kevin Holland anymore. I'm never picking this dude again, bro. I don't think, and unless it's some bum, and I really don't think Gunnar Nelson's a bum. Like, yeah, there's so many question marks, and I would never touch his money line. I would never touch anything on this fight. I'm not betting on this fight whatsoever, but I just think that he's such a smart guy, and Kevin Holland does so many exploitable things that he's gonna eventually take him down. I am not very confident, but I have a strong feeling that he'll be able to get him down, and I don't think Kevin Holland's getting back up. So whatever round that happens in, whether it's 2, whether it's 3, I think we could see a shift in the tide or just more of the same from the start. But I just think Gunnar Nelson is just a smarter fighter by a mile, and that's why I'm picking him, bro, because Kevin Holland's a dumbass. I love Kevin Holland so much, but he's a dumbass. So yeah, I gotta pick Gunnar Nelson.
Yeah, I think you're wrong. If Holland is finishing Chiesa and making it look easy, how is Gunnar Nelson beating Holland?
Michael Chiesa, those are 2 completely different fighters, in my opinion.
What are you talking about?
Like, Chiesa's his routes to getting takedowns, like he just puts his head.
Gunnar Nelson's routes to getting takedowns,
and he subbed Chiesa with his own the choke that he got subbed by everybody with.
Regardless, Holland looked good in the fight. He was stuffing the takedowns. Looked good.
I really don't think Michael Chiesa has a high fight IQ. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't think he has a high fight IQ. I think on the feet, he knows that he's really bad, and I think that's why he always gambles for the takedown no matter what, and that's why he always gets his neck caught in those situations. But again, Kevin Holland, that was one of the rare cases in his recent fights that he actually fought a smart fight and did what he was supposed to do, and jumped on the submission that is presenting itself. But Gunnar Nelson's not getting submitted by Kevin Holland, so it's in that's why.
Yeah, but is he getting takedowns consistently against the pretty big 170?
I really think he can, bro. I think he can, and I think that the crowd is going to be behind him too, because he's somewhat of a favorite for them. I just think Kevin Holland is. I'm not picking him in a fight, in any sort of fight like this where he's not an overwhelming favorite and I really don't see a route for him to lose. Then I'm going to pick against him because I have to assume that whatever way that you can lose the fight, he's going to find it. He's going to find us some way because, bro, I mean, it's just every time Kevin Holland, do this, grapple, please, don't strike. This guy can't defend takedowns, grapple. No, I think I'm just going to stand and strike. Gunnar Nelson can't freaking strike. Go just, keep your distance, throw teeps, throw long, rangy strikes. No, I think I'm just going to go inside and battle it out and hope I can knock him out. I could definitely see it, and I think Gunnar Nelson gets him down. So I don't know, bro. I'm not picking Kevin Holland ever again. But yeah, it's obviously this is not a spot where you're betting on Gunnar Nelson because he's been out of the cage for 2 years. This is still a high-level opponent, but I don't know, man. Bad feeling. I just have a bad feeling about it. Like, I would want Kevin Holland to win this fight, but anyways.
Who do you think Gunnar Nelson is, though? Okay.
I think he's.
Wait, freeze.
No. But can I speak?
Wait, no, freeze. Name one Gunnar Nelson win.
I mean,
without looking
brutal win, but bro, like, look.
Name one Gunnar Nelson win.
What that matters? Like, I can't really, but like,
no, any win.
Well, Brian Barberena, Takashi Sato, Alex Oliveira, but these are all fights that have happened years ago. But you're not explaining anything new to me. I understand these points. My point is that in those wins, he's looked dominant. He fucking killed Brian Barberena.
Barberena
he's ass. I get it. Listen. I just think that this is a lot of the times at the highest level. And you can say this about even the most recent fights where like the Izzy fight against Nasruddin. He didn't do the right things. Like he was not taking the smart approach as far as his movement around the cage. Like there's certain times where fight IQ plays a big part. And Gunnar Nelson is really a smart fighter. Like he knows not to enter the danger zones where the guy has a good a clear advantage. Like he knows how to fight. And Kevin Holland, it just feels like too many times he goes in there. I mean, even his coaches have come out and said he doesn't even listen to us. He's talking to the president mid-fight. I mean, there's going to be a crowd here. There's going to be some people in the crowd for him to talk to. And I just think that he's going to be, I don't know, man. You can never trust Kevin Holland.
I feel like him dropping back down to 170 shows that maybe he is trying to take his career.
I'm happy that he did that too. That's a good point.
Why are you picking Gunnar Nelson then?
But I don't think that the weight difference is going to change his mentality. And I think that Gunnar Nelson is still like he's a solid guy. He's a solid fighter. He's a solid fighter, especially on the ground. Like if he gets you down, the odds of him getting back up are sub 30% in my eyes. And it's like
I disagree. Like this guy, it's not like he has incredible control. He's a really good jiu-jitsu artist. But Holland's been taken down by guys at 185. You think this 170-year jiu-jitsu artist is gonna hold Kevin Holland down? I think he can pop out.
We'll see. He could look. Hey, Kevin Holland could go into this fight and look. If he does the right things, he could look like minus 500, minus 600, easy. But then at the same time, he could go in there and pull a Kevin Holland. So I don't know. I'm not betting on the fight. I don't have a strong pick, but my pick, if you're putting a gun in my head, would be Gunnar Nelson, no pun intended.
I have a strong pick. I'm betting. I like Holland. All right. Co-main event. Fuck. Damn, this is a long-ass podcast. Blachowicz, Oberg.
I do have to go soon, shit.
Yeah, sorry.
No, we'll finish in time for sure.
We'll make this one quick. Honestly, don't really have a strong read on this one. I mean, I feel like the line is kind of nuts. Like Oberg almost minus 300. Well, what is it now? Actually, I'm curious. Minus 300. I feel like that's kind of crazy. I mean, the guy is 34. Like, I feel like a lot of people think he's younger than that, but he's 34. And we haven't seen him tested against this level of fighter. I mean, he looked really good in that Uzdemir fight. Kind of just picked them apart. Won that fight by decision. Hurt him a few times. But this is a step up. But here's the thing, Blachowicz, now he's 42. He hasn't fought in almost 2 years. We just don't know where he is. This fight's probably going to go the distance. But I feel like if Blachowicz can mix in the wrestling, you never know, man. This guy's got a lot of power. If he shows the power threat and then mixes in the wrestling, I feel like he's got a chance. But I don't have a strong pick. I don't know. I guess I'll pick Oberg just because of the youth. Despite being 34, it's just because Blachowicz is 42. Just turned 42, by the way. Happy birthday, Blachowicz. Belated. I think I'll go Oberg. There's just no way in fucking hell I'm laying minus 300. And I have food at the door, so I'll be right back.
All right. I'm also rolling with Carlos Ulberg, but I am a little worried about it. I'm a little worried about that pick just because um Jan is again, we've talked a lot about this on this card, fight IQ. He's one of the smarter guys. Like he knows how to stay within himself on the feet. He works the body, he works the legs, he works every target while keeping his defensive discipline. And at the same time, he has the wrestling in his back pocket. If he feels uncomfortable on the feet, he can, change dimensions. And he's done that to basically, or he's tried to do it to a lot of the guys he's fought recently. Obviously Glover. He didn't need it against Dom Reyes back then, but did it against Alex Pereira. Didn't get the decision in the end, but he needed to introduce the wrestling into that fight. It's gonna be one of those fights, man, because Carlos Ulberg, you can't. I struggle with him a little bit because like the durability is a little bit of a question, but not too big of a question. Obviously, his debut he got knocked out, but that was such a weird one. If you go back and look, I mean, he was winning the entire fight. Kennedy Nzechukwu was not throwing a single punch, and then all of a sudden he's like, all right, I'm gonna start to throw now. And Ulberg had already emptied the tank trying to take him out of there, and he got caught. So I don't think that's really much of a worry. That was his only knockout, his only loss in his career, and he just got way too ahead of himself. I think he recognizes the importance of this spot. I think he would have beat Dom Reyes had they fought. That was a big fight I was excited for. I think he would have beat Jamal Hill. I think he would have beat Anthony Smith. Obviously, I would have liked him to finish Volkan Ozdemir just because I think Volkan is one of those guys that gives you a lot of chances to do that. But yeah, I mean, he beat him pretty easily, so I'll take that for what it is. But the Jan one, I mean, this is a guy with such championship pedigree, been in so many huge spots in his career, but this is a 3-round fight. I think he is somebody that kind of grows into himself as the fight goes on. And I think he's not going to have as many opportunities to make like reads on Ulberg. And I just think, yeah, he's going to have to try to take this fight down. And it's going to really be a test of whether Carlos Ulberg has strong enough takedown defense. But the thing is about it, like Izzy was not able to keep Jan Blachowicz off of him at all, but he's at a big size disadvantage. Like Ulberg is a big guy. I think he fits this division very, very well. I think he'll be able to keep this one standing. I don't see a knockout, but I see the potential for a knockout. And I see just overall in the 3 rounds, Carlos Ulberg doing the majority of the work on the feet, and they score this one damage over control. Maybe a little bit of clinch control here and there for Jan, but overall, I just think that Carlos Ulberg has the speed advantage, the youth advantage, all those physical advantages for him to win this one. But it's a tough one, and if he does get past Jan, then he sets himself up for some big things. But Jan is no easy pushover, not at all.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that last thing you said. I think it is going to turn out to be damage over control. Again, never would I ever lay minus 300 on Ulberg, but at the same time, I'm not laying dog money even on Jan Blachowicz just because he's fucking 42 years
old. And I didn't even mention his age. I didn't even mention, bro, like 42. I mean, he won the belt, close to his 40th birthday, but it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I'll say Ulberg takes the decision here. I feel like he has all the finishing potential, and I feel like he's an improving mixed martial artist. We know he comes from a kickboxing background. We know he struggled on the ground before, but I feel like he's only getting better. It's a step up, but I think he passes the test. I won't say with flying colors, but I think he wins. All right, main event time. We're here. Before we get into it, make sure you guys check out the link in our bio. Discord. Already have like 7-8 bets, as I was talking about earlier. So I'm really liking this card from a Discord perspective, from a betting perspective. Sorry. Easiest way to make money on the planet is betting on UFC. That might be an exaggeration, but we'll make some money this week. I can almost guarantee it. Last week we cashed out plus 1,200 submission props. So that was pretty sick. And everything else, Counterpunch, is in the description of this live stream, Instagram, TikTok, etc. Go check us out. We're bigger over there. We got FBA saying that, mark my words, Prime 2020 Kev is going to be back after this fight. I don't know about that, but I think him at weight is going to be really good.
Talking about Prime Kev. How old is Kev Holland now? What is he, like 35?
31.
31?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna go check out. I was on Carlos Ulberg's page. I had to go back a bit. I feel like he's a little older than that. Yeah, no, he's 32. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm rooting for Kevin Holland. That's all I'm gonna say.
We got Cole saying Holland by round 1 knockout. Starts to see. Yeah, it seems like everyone's disagreeing with your dumb ass.
I'll be on an island. I'll be on a Gunnar Nelson island over here.
Cole saying Jan would win if it was 5-round fight.
Agreed.
I don't know if I agree. Like, has Olberg
Well,
really shown bad cardio? Like, he
in
went
the breakdown, I was saying that like the 3 rounds favors Olberg. That's what I was saying, basically.
I think he wins regardless, to be honest. FBA saying any more IG videos. We dropped one today about Kevin Holland, and expect some more throughout the week.
There'll be more.
Link in the description. All right, here we are. Main event. I missed this one. Bang said Mumblemouth Edwards will lose a decision and fight again next January. Look, there's a reason, I guess. There's a reason Brady's minus 180 here, because people see Bilal beating Edwards dominantly, and they think Brady can do the exact same thing. He's looked really good in his last 2 fights. But here's the thing. I think Edwards wins. I think Edwards wins. I think he either wins by late finish or decision. And I think this line is insane. I don't agree with the line. I feel like on the feet, yes, Brady's improving with the striking, but I think it's a wash. I think Bilal's on steroids. I think Brady actually isn't on steroids. Not only that, Bilal actually has significantly better boxing than Sean Brady. I know it's fucking Bilal we're talking about, but he does. He actually has some pretty clean boxing.
He knocked his ass out.
What?
He knocked his ass out.
What are you talking? Who?
Bilal knocked out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like Brady just, I don't know what happened with him in that fight. I don't really look at that fight too much. I do feel like on the feet with the boxing especially, Rohan, you remember when I always said when Leon was champion, I love Leon, but I think he's overrated just because he leaves some openings in his striking, and it got exposed by Bilal, who actually hit him with some good shots with his hands. I don't think Brady's going to be able to do the same thing here. I think he's going to come forward with a bunch of telegraph punches with less clean strikes, and I feel like on the feet, it's going to be Edwards is going to win on the feet, and I feel like Brady will be able to get a takedown or two. But, man, it's in England. The refs are going to let Leon get away with a fence grab or two. He's a little dirty fighter when he's fighting these wrestlers, hence that fucking trilogy with him and Usman. I do feel like I see a lot of people on Twitter saying that Edwards isn't motivated for this. He was already the champ. Now he's a contender. He did what he was supposed to do, get the belt, and now what even is the UFC for him anymore? But I feel like he's motivated to get that belt back. Obviously, Brady is extremely motivated too, taking this fight on 3 weeks' notice in someone's fucking an enemy territory. But I do feel like, look, it's a close fight. I see a situation in which Brady can hold him down and win a decision, probably 3 rounds or 2. But, man, I just feel like this line is off, especially when the striking, I feel like, is kind of a wash here. I know Brady's only getting better, but, I mean, he looked better in the striking against Gilbert Burns. And, man, I just feel like at this age in Burns' career, he's ancient. I feel like this is levels here. Edwards still in his prime. What is he, 32, 33? And we're forgetting, I know Edwards fought Bilal and got taken down a few times. But Bilal is just a fucking force. Like, his pace and pressure is just a force. I don't think I can say the same thing about Sean Brady. I feel like the takedown defense, he'll get taken down a few times, 2-3 times. I do believe that, but I feel like it'll hold up enough in which he'll be able to get his strikes off. And I think this is a better matchup for him than Bilal, kind of by far. And honestly, I thought Leon was going to lose to JDM, to be honest. I'm glad that I want him to win, and I'm glad that he's getting this fight instead. I like Leon. What were you saying?
I was going to say that I think that Bilal is probably the closest to Merab. Other than, I think he that with that pace and pressure, like, it's so hard to deal with. And I think, there was a part of me that was discrediting him a little bit before that. But I think, look, I'm a big Leon Edwards fan, okay? I don't care. There's not many of us, but I've been a big Leon Edwards fan since like 2020 when he was supposed to fight Tyrone Woodley during COVID and didn't. This guy, he's just a good fighter. He's a really good fighter, man. He's one of the better strikers that I've watched in recent times when he's on. Like, there's times, obviously, I think styles matter, obviously, and the Bilal one was tough. He made things tough on him on the feet, which I didn't really expect too much, but you got to kind of expect Leon to be a little more timid when you're so worried about the takedowns. Sean Brady ain't Bilal, man. He's just not. He's not that. I don't think Sean Brady's championship material. Like, can I say that and not receive backlash? I really don't see him as a future champ. I don't. And Leon Edwards at his peak is somebody that is a championship level fighter. I really do think he's proven this. Not only, obviously, you can talk about how the knockout of a Kamaru may be a little lucky, but he dominated Nate Diaz before that. And I think he won the fight very clearly against Kamaru Usman the second time. I think he proved that he was a champion in that second performance, point taken away and all that, whatever. I think this guy is really good. And even at the end of the Bilal fight, we saw him start to wake up a little bit, because the entire fight, it was a weird one from I don't think he felt the same. Where did they fight? Was it at Elevation?
Leon and who?
Bilal.
Bro. England, dude.
Oh no, they did fight in England. But listen,
yeah, are you old, bro?
no. Listen, my point is, I think like he looked off in that fight. His corner was trying to tell him like the same advice that they gave him in that first Kamaru fight, and they were like, "Yo, wake up!" And he literally said, "Fuck off!" Like he was just out of it in that fight. I don't think he felt the same confidence coming in that he did. But if he's up for this, like I guess there's slight worry on my end of like, is he really motivated? But why wouldn't he be? Like the door is still wide open for him to get back to where he was. It's not like welterweight is some crazy division where the top guys at the top are all unbeatable. Like all these guys are very beatable, him included. But everybody in this division, I think, even Shavkat, as we saw in the Ian Machado Gary fight, all these guys can be had. So I really think that Sean Brady, he just doesn't do enough on the feet. He's very easy to game plan against on the feet. He doesn't throw anything out of the ordinary. Very simple ones and twos, comes forward, some overhands here and there. But he's looking to take the fight to the ground. And Leon's been defending, like, bro, we're forgetting how well his takedown defense held up against Kamaru Usman in the second fight, and for the early parts of the first fight as well. Obviously, Kamaru did start to get success later, but that's Kamaru. That's one of the best wrestlers of all time. I don't think Sean Brady's on that level. I think, hey, don't say that about Kamaru.
Best wrestlers of all time.
Oh, in the UFC welterweight.
Even in the UFC, bro.
In the UFC welterweight history. Okay. So Sean Brady, I don't think is that. I don't think he's got that. And this line, I feel like it's one of those Dustin Poirier and Didi and whatever his name is. I'm forgetting now because he's irrelevant now. What's his name? Benoit. I think they were just being so disrespectful to Dustin based on.
Wait, what are you even fucking talking? I'm sorry, bro. How did we get to Poirier and say?
I'm talking about the line, bro. The line. Jesus, keep up, bro. Keep up. Oh my god, I'm just talking about how the line feels similar to that, like how they're disrespecting him, bro. Keep up, dog.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. You're right. You're right.
I think this one, they're just, I don't know what MMA math they're using, but like I guess it's the Gilbert Burns win that they're looking at on Sean Brady's resume and saying, yeah, if he's able to do that to a former championship contender in Burns, then he'll be able to do that against Edwards. It's not the same fighter, completely different styles. Edwards is one that will hang back at a distance on the feet. Burns engages in a war and will let you take him down if he gets sloppy. I don't think that Brady's got that same pressure as Bilal. And I think that it might be a boring decision. I'm not picking Leon to finish him, but I'm picking him to win this fight for sure. I think he's just the better overall fighter. Even on the ground, I think he has potential to, surprise people and put Brady in some bad positions if he gets a little caught up. So I like Edwards here. I'm gonna pick him by unanimous decision, though. I think that's the safer choice. I haven't seen him, look too hungry to knock anybody out recently, other than the infamous one. But I like him. I like him here. I like him a lot. So I'm rolling with my boy Rocky Edwards.
I think that was the longest any of us have ever talked about a fight ever.
Well, you were gone for half of it, so I was catching your ass up. And then
that was a generational breakdown, but it was good. I agree with you.
It was inspirational.
You had me spaced out for like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden I hear fucking Poirier.
Yeah, bro. But it made sense. I was saying.
I agree. No, I hear what you're saying.
Because where did that come from? Like, when at the time we were like, whoa, plus 200 for Dustin Poirier. It's like now you're looking at this line like, damn, bro. They're being a little disrespectful. They're disrespecting Leon Edwards, former champion.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I said my piece already, but FBA, I pretty much agree with him. Leon will win if he is mentally there. Simple as that. I agree with that. Cole also making a great point. They fought at 5 a.m. UK time. He's referring to the Edwards-Bilal fight. I agree. I think Leon said himself, like, I was fucking asleep there. I don't know if that's an excuse or if he actually felt that. I'll believe him because they were fighting at fucking 5 a.m. At the same time, you got to think he was preparing in training camp to fight that late. Who knows? So imagine if Leon fought Chimaev when they were once booked. Yeah.
Oh my God, no. I don't want to imagine that.
That would have been a mauling. try to, and he missed the notification about tonight's show, just join. We'll go, yeah, you better go back and observe. This was probably one of our longest live shows ever. But yeah, that's all we got. I'm going Leon in the main event. So is Rohan, plus money. We'll take it. Any final words?
Hey, man, the dogs are barking this weekend. I think we had like upwards of 5 underdogs picks. So, hey, man, enjoy. It's always fun in London. They always know how to do it. So we'll see you guys on Instagram this week. Yo, keep up with the content. Be in the Discord for the bets, all that. You know where to find us. So enjoy the fights. That's it.
Couldn't have said it better. Somebody find my fucking outro music. Where is it? There it is. Is this it?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. This was like almost a record-breaking night. Man. I think we hit like 35 total fucking viewers.
Hey, we're growing.
Our live stream, yo, look, it is a fucking fight night. We haven't done it in a minute. I don't know, Rohan. You tell me. You know I'm always down.
I should be free on Thursday, Friday. If we down for a little hour or two. Yeah, I'm down. Why not?
Fuck it. All right. Stay tuned. Low key. We haven't done one of those in a minute. But for now, thank you guys very much. It's been Lucas and Rohan. Maybe we'll see you Thursday and Friday. If not, check out everything in the description. But for now, adios.